Hi, my name is Dr. Bruce Miller. I had some goals in mind that I wanted to accomplish that nobody else had ever completed in my profession. I want to put a multiple disciplinary facility together so that we could not only have one doctor's opinion in my office, but we could have 8 doctors' opinions in my office with 8 different specialties. And whoever had the right idea or the best idea to fix this person was right there in that office. And I accomplished that dream. I had 2 orthopedic surgeons, a neurosurgeon, 2 chiropractors, an acupuncturist, 3 physical therapists, and a bunch of massage therapists. And we gave our patients excellent care. And during that period of time, I enjoyed being on the front of the Achievers magazine. They've only put 2 doctors on the front of that magazine in its whole history. And it talked about the size of my practice and all my accomplishments. One of them was that in 1974, I had my own operating room in an office with my own anesthesia, doing manipulation of the spine, the neck, the low back, under anesthesia. I was the first chiropractor in the world to ever be head of a department in a hospital over a chiropractic department, where I taught medical doctors how to adjust the spine. That was quite an achievement, and I was very, very proud of it.
Dr. Miller led an active life, including racing and fishing. This life that he loved so much caused him to suffer from an occasional painful cold sore.
It comes from the sun, or it comes from bad diet, or it comes from being nervous. And the little virus hangs around the neck and the ganglion, and when you get into that stressful situation, it follows a course somewhere around your mouth, and bingo, you've got a cold sore. And one night, about 12 o'clock, after going fishing about 4 days before and getting sunblasted, I knew I was going to get a big one. It was very painful. It was just starting. It's called a proddermal stage. You know what's coming, but it's not there yet. So I got up. My wife had a cream that she was using. And this cream contained Procaine. And I had some interferon that was in a tablet form. So I mixed the 2 together, you know, like a chemist. And it came out kind of ugly looking. And I put it on my mouth. And the next morning I got up and I said, and the pain was gone right away. I said, what is this? Because these things are painful. What is this? The pain went away in about 2 or 3 minutes, and the next morning it looked like it was almost gone. I said, found something, did something. So during this whole period of time, I loved racing. And I would always be at the racetrack. People would always be coming up to me. I liked to go to Vegas and watch the boxing matches. I had friends that were well connected. And we used to sit ringside, and I don't know if you're not, I mean, these lights are pretty bad, but those lights are unbelievable. So we used to wear our sunglasses. And that goes pretty far back in my practice life. So from that day forward, I kind of liked the look. It became a symbol of Doc Miller. And when I walked through the pits at night, and I had these sunglasses on, and they would identify me immediately because that was my sign. That was Doc. Here comes Doc. Oh, there's Doc. But getting back to the story, I was still head of the department in the hospital. And I was talking to the administrator of the hospital one afternoon. And I said, you know, Herb, I said, I found something out. I don't know what I have. And he said, call a guy named Bill in Houston, Texas, who was a venture capitalist. I went out there, sat in front of him, and it so happened that his secretary had a cold sore. And I told him the story, and he said, I'll tell you what, you give her some of the medication that you brought with you, and if she's better tomorrow, I'll invest. So I put some medication on her, and the next day she didn't have a cold sore. So he put a team together, which consisted of the head chemist of J&J for 22 years.
My name is Dr. Richard Cronenthal. I was born in New York City, went to Brooklyn College, received a bachelor degree in chemistry, and then went on to graduate school and received a PhD in organic chemistry back in 1955.
Brilliant man, has 58 patents. So many patents are still in use today in emergency rooms. If you walk into a hospital and you have to be stitched up, he invented it.
Received the prestigious Johnson Medal for Research and Development for a series of new products that I developed for Ethicon, and since their development have accumulated sales in the billions of dollars.
Here I am, an ordinary doctor, and here he is. I mean, he's just a monumental figure in Johnson & Johnson, who's probably one of the biggest pharmaceuticals in the world.
One of the things that we discovered during the work on that product was that two of the components, which we had originally thought would be completely independent in their mode of action, were reacting with each other in a very effective way. It formed a salt which had particular efficacy in that it allowed the formulation components to penetrate through the skin, we call that transdermal penetration, and get into the layers of the skin, of the dermis, that were particularly in need of the therapy. And I think that discovery of the interaction of these two materials was a key part of the explanation of the mechanism for the success of the efficacy of the material.
The procaine and a chemical called sodium lauryl sulfate came together and formed a compound that man had never known before. And it became a transdermal that goes in. I kept getting feedback from person after person. Doc, did you try it on burns? I said, no. Try it on burns. Well, I'm not gonna burn myself just to try my medicine. I mean, that's ridiculous, I thought. This is after I had retired after back injury and I came to Costa Rica. And I was recouping my life and kind of settling down, taking a little vacation from the 32 years I worked every day with a tie on. And had a jacuzzi in a nice condo and went to turn it on one day and was looking for the bubbles and the water to start circulating, and it didn't do it. So I waited and I waited and I waited. Finally I said, I gotta check this out. So it was a 12-person jacuzzi, so it had a lot of plumbing to it. And I got down, opened the doors to where all the plumbing was. I saw that a valve had been turned wrong. And just as I went to turn it, the entire thing exploded in my face. Steam, pressurized hot water and steam from my forehead to my waist. I backed out of there. Fortunately, I was smart enough to shut my eyes. And though my eyes got burnt a little bit, they recuperated pretty quick. And I backed out and I tore my shirt off and skin was just falling off me. I never had so much pain in all my life. And I remembered, I have pain medication, topical, that gets rid of pain. And people says it works on burns. I guess I better give it a try. So I went down to my bedroom and I had a little container of it. My arms were just killing me, so I put it heavy on my arms. I said, God, my face. So then I put the rest on my face, and then I had to take thinner layers and put it on my chest and my abdomen. And my accountant was there in the living room with me, and he said, Doc, you gotta go to the hospital. I said, I know.
A mí se me llamó a
I was
atender
called to attend to a male patient suffering from second and third degree burns on his face, neck, and abdomen. When brought in, he was in critical condition due to the extensive burns on his body. I was amazed at the difference between the first time I saw this patient and when he came in for his follow-up, mostly in regards to how quickly his second and third degree burns healed. During his treatment here, I made him aware of the probable need for skin grafts, most especially on his neck. With the help of the Bellamora cream, not only was his recovery much faster, but we were also able to avoid having to perform any skin grafts. In these photographs, you can see the patient on the second day of his hospital stay, and this is the photograph we took 15 days afterwards. The difference between the burns clearly shown here and incredibly fast healing 15 days later can be seen immediately. Typically, burns of this magnitude don't heal in 15 days. These results are usually not seen for 2 to 3 months, sometimes never. When dealing with third-degree burns, you never see this type of healthy skin. The skin usually remains scarred and irritated, and it's not unusual to need additional surgeries. In this case, no other surgery was needed or performed.
I got the patent in 2003, my burn was in 2005, and instead of carrying it forward with the burn situation, of course, wanting to create like I am, I said, what if I took this formulation and I put something else in it and it goes into the skin? Will it rejuvenate? And will it look great? I said, women use a lot of collagen, you know, and they want to get vitamins into their skin, you know, and moisturizers. At that point in time, I decided to make a research of San Jose, Costa Rica.
What Dr. Miller eventually did was applied that theory and that technology to the cosmetic products, found ways of applying this so that the materials in the cosmetics were more easily penetrating the skin or the dermis, and by doing that were actually made more effective in their therapeutic aspects than anything else that we've come across. And so the original antiviral project bore additional fruit by being the key to enabling the components of the cosmetic compositions to go into the skin where they are most effective.
This story is really becoming incredible. Not only do we have a patented product that's the most amazing thing plastic surgeons and dermatologists have ever seen for burns, but the technology now has blossomed and has gone into a product that's good for women and what they use, because it's a transdermal and it goes through. It doesn't just sit on your skin. Everybody that has seen this goes, wow, what was that? I've never seen that happen before. Most cosmetics, you put it on and they say, well, wait 2 weeks, wait 3 weeks, wait 3 months, and you'll see a change. No, you see a change right now.
Because these cosmetics are formulated in a way that permit them to penetrate the epidermis, the part of the skin that prevents usual contamination. They have a much enhanced activity, cosmetic activity, therapeutic activity, and the formulations that are developed, and I believe there are 4 or 5 of them, have very powerful cosmetic efficacy that is a result of the extrapolation of this kind of thinking and this kind of technology.
We wanted to take the product and instead of giving it to a multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical and charging people too much for this product, we're going to take this product, that this new product has come out of this invention and this patent, and put it in the hands of the people so they can help each other. Why get all these big companies rich? Look how many people are out of jobs today, not only in the US, but worldwide. There's a bad economical situation. People are looking for jobs, and they're having a hard time finding them. How would you like to be your own manager with a product that people go, man, I've never seen anything like that? And that's what we have. And that is the story of the beginning of Bellamora.